Hello, my dear friends, lovely audiences. Welcome to the East West Show. Jack Chow with G&E TV on the East West Show with lots of pride. Yesterday with me, we want to touch base. In touching base with California laws is my good brother, Bob Lindsay, a retired LASD commander, one of the 16. Together we had lots of good time with, back on the show to talk about California law, because without his supervision, California is getting one step ahead south. Right? Now we're talking about the AB1810 law, which is even crazier than any laws you can even think about. So that said, as a lead line, Bob Lindsay, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jack. It's great to be back.
Brother Lindsay cares about this community a lot. He came back midnight of last night from Arizona, having his own fun, of course. Mm-hmm. Life is there, excellent, right? And this morning, he is here with us, right? So, how much do you know about 1810?
Look, at the California legislature and 1810 is very, very bad, extremely bad for California. You know, California has taken a wrong turn. It went off the cliff.
Yeah. And
no longer do victims have any rights. They're giving all of the rights to the people who commit crimes. And AB 1810 is just another loophole for criminals. And what's going to happen if you have a daughter, a wife, somebody else, let's say they're raped and viciously attacked? What the suspects are now going to do is fall back on AB 1810 and say, they're crazy. They lost their mind for a moment. They had an out-of-body experience. They didn't know what they were doing. And we all know, no matter where you go, it's just going to take a doctor to say that's true.
Yeah.
And do we know how many doctors are willing to go ahead for this amount of money?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
To go ahead and say, yes, they did lose their mind. And that person is going to avoid prosecution, avoid conviction, avoid going to jail, and where's the victim? No rights once again.
Exactly.
You know, California is going down the tubes because of a lot of laws that are being passed. And unfortunately, the right people aren't standing up to go against what's happening in Sacramento.
Altogether, we talked a lot from all the way back to AB 109, right? And then we're talking about Proposition 47. We're talking about Proposition 57. It goes on and on. We thought 57 was the utmost, was the end of it. As a matter of fact, we're wrong. That's not the end. So. No. And then that's 1810. When I first heard about it, I couldn't even believe my ear. I thought I heard wrong. It was on the radio. And then I did research, and I found one resources, and then another, and then another, and then another, until I went all the way to find out the bill text itself. Yes, it is there. It is proven black and white that anybody who committed something, crime, like a robbery, like a raping, like looting, whatsoever.
Doesn't matter.
Well, it doesn't matter, right? And he say, at that very moment, Judge, I was not myself. I was another person. I was under my mental attack, mental condition, whatsoever. And judge say, prove it. Right? And then this person has 2 years to prove it.
Right.
So
here's the problem, Jack. I mean, think about the court backup. Think about the victim backup. Think about not getting resolution for you being a crime victim for 2 years. I mean, because they have 2 years to figure it out, whether or not they're insane or whether or not they have a mental incapacity or whether at that particular moment in time they had a mental deficiency.
And that during the 2 years, this very person could commit another crime.
Many crimes.
And another crime, another
course.
crime. There's not going to be no end to it, right?
Prosecution was hard enough without this insanity. And the people who voted for this in the legislature, who actually wrote it, they are doing nothing good for California. In fact, they are dismantling California law, and they are causing this state to go into a death spiral.
All right. And sure enough, they themselves, they knew that they did it viciously, right?
Well,
that's why
Jack, you know what happens a lot? And I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you know what happens a lot? They do it for their own family members, or they do it for somebody they know because they want to save somebody who's being charged with a crime. So they come up with a crazy law like this to save a family member, which kills the state of California.
And they knew what they did was wrong.
Absolutely.
All right? And that's why nobody signs the bill as the author of it. There's no author of the bill. I searched over and over and over again. I spent at least 2 weeks of time until I knock on the doors of some of the legislature's office saying that I need to find out who is behind this bill. I need some name. And you know the answer? There was a trailer bill.
Right.
They inserted the language into the trailer. But who are they?
They won't tell you because they know. And I'll tell you what, if there was an investigation done and it went back to whomever did this, I guarantee you, they have family, friends, they have relatives, they have somebody else who they need to have utilize this law in order for them
to go
not to go to state prison.
Okay. And I pondered. I tried several offices, and then I came back with the same answer, saying that there is no author at all. Right? And there's a bill, there's a trailer bill, is a trailer insert something. However, who literally by physical law, we can go for Isaac Newton to get the physical law. There must be somebody who puts a hand in there to insert it. Who did this action?
There's many people, and let me tell you why. For something this egregious to be placed in as a trailer bill, all of that legislature must have asked who did this.
Yeah.
Who put this in here? And or they're in agreement with it. They are. So what they're trying to do is place fault that, well, if they didn't approve this, the rest of it would have not been approved. So they had to approve this. And that's what they fall back on. See, this is their illegitimate excuse of how they put things so devastatingly bad for the people of the state of California.
Exactly, sir.
In a bill.
Exactly. It sounds to me somebody sends me a letter. When I open it, I see some letters saying something wrong about me or calling me names.
Right.
And I call, how come you send a letter? I said, no, I didn't send a letter. It was an official letter, probably my secretary, somebody who inserted something in it. Who?
What they're saying is the state of California wrote it, not a person.
Okay.
So if the state of California wrote it, who?
A ghost?
Who owns the state of California? We the people. We the people own it.
I
And
didn't
I would
write
say
it.
we the people want it out.
I didn't. Yeah, we want
Exactly.
it out.
We want it out.
All right, want it out. So the whole thing is that when you can make laws as crazy as that much, you exactly know the pulse, the impulse of California. It is deadly wrong. We're dying.
Well, Jack, we're putting together a group, Recall California, basically, and we need to recall everybody down there that voted for this bill. If they're going to vote, if they're going to vote for this bill, if they're going to vote for something like this, basically taking away all victims' rights.
Yes, exactly. But it is the law already. The governor signs it, and the money is there, the budget is
Well,
there.
is the governor going to sign it?
Yeah, signed it already.
Oh, he did sign it.
It is
Okay.
signed already. It is into law already. So that's why I trace from this very end who did it. Right?
Well, I just came back from Arizona. That's a place that would never sign something like this.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no,
That
I
would
know.
never happen there. Now, I know that they're trying to do things in Arizona. But California is so far off the edge of this cliff that if Californians don't start standing up, if they don't start having a collective voice and saying this has got to stop, then their children, everybody's children, their grandchildren in this state of California is in danger.
It is exactly like we said just now. At the time when they made the 57, Proposition 57, we thought that was the end of it, and before long we realized we were wrong. Right? That was not the end of it. Now we're thinking about, we pray, let 1810 be the end of it. There couldn't be the end of it because the past experiences, well, tells us there is going to be no end to it. They can create something more.
You know, I have to laugh because they always say that California is the cutting edge. But for me and my family and looking at what happens in California, it's the cutting edge of destruction.
No, it's cutting neck.
Whatever is happening in California, just use that as a guideline of what not to do.
All right, my dear friend, my lovely audiences, my dear fellow Californians, please be alert. Please be vigilant. Please wake up. California is getting nowhere. California is being strangled. We are being strangled by our own legislator, by the representative of we the people, and end up killed, strangled by them. I'm talking about their law, the new law, 1810, signed in June, the past June, 2 months ago, by Governor Brown, to allow every criminal, before hearing, first hearing, preliminary hearing, to claim that I have a right to let my doctor decide if I was in mental condition whatsoever, so that I did not commit whatever crime you're accusing me, and it's me out of the body whatsoever. Somebody else did it. Okay. My dear friends, with me is my brother Bob Lindsay. Let's take a moment out. When we come back, we want to go further to find out. Okay, now we're talking about mental problem, right? We aren't really talking about mental problem when we come back, please. Hello, dear friends, my lovely audiences. Welcome back to the show. Jack Chow on the East West Show, talking about our beloved state of California for each of our dear fellow California citizens. Right. So with me is the retired commander for County Sheriff of Los Angeles, Mr. Bob Lindsay. Bob Lindsay has earned huge respect with his 39 years of glorious service to the public, and he still cares about the public. And now, whenever there is any law issue, I still get him because he, in my eye, represents the right law enforcement. Right. Good. Now, back to the point, though. When suspects can claim they are the victim of their mental condition, right? And mental condition obviously is the key, right?
Right.
Okay, now, us, the people, let's play a doctor. Let's play a doctor, right? The doctor gives them the witness or the certificate or whatever, say, yes, this man was under the influence of the mental condition, right? Okay, now, could we the people play doctor to give them a diagnosis to see the legislators themselves. Are they in their right mental condition when they can create such laws to you, sir?
Yeah, from right here at this table, I'll claim the California state legislature to be insane for them to do this to the public. Now, here's what they're going to create. They're going to create a grouping of doctors, okay? People who now make this their business. Their business is going to be to go ahead and declare somebody because of their past. And what is their past? Now we're going to get into an individual coming to this doctor saying, I was beaten as a child. This happened to me as a child. They may even be making all of this up. But they're going to build a profile in order to build their defense. The suspects now are going to build a defense, and there's enough doctors out there that will take these sorts of cases on for a living that will make a lot of money.
Exactly.
In just simply saying, yes, they were crazy when it happened, trying to get their patient, and basically the person giving them the money,
yeah, of course, money, yes,
out of the crime.
Yes.
Now, if everybody in the world, if everybody in California were perfectly honest and everybody never lied, this wouldn't be that bad. But guess what? The suspect's going to lie, the doctors are going to lie, everybody's going to lie about this individual over here, and the victim is going to be the victim twice. They're going to be the victim of the crime, robbery, rape, whatever it was, and then they're going to be the victim of these lies over here.
They're victims of an organized crime.
An organized crime by the state of California.
Organized crime by the organizer being the state of California.
Exactly.
We are not saying this for nothing. We have evidence. Okay, now we have a law that encourages attorneys driving around with a measure tape from business to business, where your doorknob is, how high your mirror is in the restroom, and then from the center of your toilet, how much it spins, as the diameter, so on and so forth. For each of the findings, they deserve $4,000. All right? Then with a pack of standard letter, they put a name on it. Yes, Mr. Bob Lindsay, all right? Or Mr. Jack Chow. I find out that you're in your restaurant, there's a violation of California law, for which I'm going to sue you, and you're going to end up paying including court fees, filing fees, attorney fees, etc. It goes on and on. Well, the boss, of course, the owner of the business, will get scared and says he will capitulate. How much do you want? He said, give me $4,000 in my name. I'll just dismiss the whole thing. We never met. So here goes the $1,000, and the attorney goes to another restaurant, another business. And now they are rich attorneys driving Mercedes-Benz, BMW, or Porsche, whatsoever. This is encouraged by California. Am I exaggerating?
No, you're not exaggerating. In fact, this is very bad for businesses in the state, because somebody can come in and do whatever they want in a business, ruin the inside of the business, extort the business, do all of these things and still claim this. And I want to say this. The state of California, the Los Angeles County Superior Court, already has mental health court, one of the finest in the nation. The judges there are so good at what they do. There was already something in place to define and to determine mental instability. This is an end around. This is to help people who they specifically want to help get out of crimes. Okay, it's not for the mental deficient.
Oh, we have that court
This is a
system
loophole.
already.
Of course, it's already been in place for decades here in the state of California.
I see.
All they had to do was go down to Department 92, which is now run out of Metro Court. But the bottom line is that those judges know what to look for. They know what to view. They know how to look at histories. This legislation is not that. This legislation is simply to have suspects be able to make an excuse to get out of criminal prosecution.
Exactly. Okay, there's another way to testify, though. You can always testify. A healthy legal system or justice system, number one, protects people, right? Number two, chastise the bad guys, right? Number three, settle cases with the reasonable, whatever, compensation or something like that. In this one, in this specific law, where can we or can they approve that Californians are protected?
Well, Californians aren't protected. In fact, what they're doing in Sacramento is creating the perfect crime. Because think about it. You can now go ahead and claim that you didn't know what you were doing, okay? You were basically mentally incapacitated for the time. And then guess what? Nothing happens, and their mental incapacitation, their health records cannot be divulged.
Oh, yeah.
So now,
of course, yeah.
So now, not only do they get out of the crime, you can't even now
and the public do not even know.
Now you don't even know that they've claimed this mental incapacitation. So it's a win-win for the bad people. It's a win-win for the criminal. That's exactly what this is.
It's an inbox operation. People never even knew what's to be in court. The case was dismissed, right? The case was given to a doctor's hand, and the doctor says, yeah, so who, what extent?
So Jack, they call it a trailer bill.
Nobody knows it.
Yeah, the request from the people, the request from you, the request from me should be, we want to know who put that trailer language into the bill. Who? We want to know who wrote it. We want to know who typed it. We want to know who entered it. We want to know how it got in there. We want to know when it got in there.
Yeah.
And from whom?
By simple logic, there must be some person, right, who did it, right? It can't be from nowhere. It doesn't come from the air, right? Somebody who did it and why this person did it, or if more than one with a bunch of people, why did he do it? Tell us. Let us know, right? Let's argue. If you believe what you say is right, well, convince us, right? We'll apologize if we're wrong, all right? Now, your job to convince us. So where for us to express ourselves as such?
Well, we know where Jerry Brown stands on it because you said he signed it. Where does Gavin Newsom stand on it? Where does Cox stand on it? Where do all these other legislators stand on it, or these people running for office? We need to know now, where do people stand on this? Because if they stand up for this bill, then we need to make sure they do not get in office. Okay, where's the sheriff on this? Where is he at? Why isn't he down in Sacramento every single day with people stating this is insane? This is going to destroy the criminal justice system. This is going to impact the courts. This is going to cause fraud throughout this state, with doctors making false allegations. And trust me, and I need to make it very clear, not all doctors are bad, just like not all police officers are bad. But there is a set of people willing to do anything for money. Anything.
Okay, my dear friends, my lovely audience, let's do something. It looks like it is high time we did something. We thought that was the end of it by 57. As a matter of fact, 57 wasn't the end, and now we're seeing 1810. And 1810 is not going to be the end. Yes, Bob was right. Let's find out. Let's find out. Let's write to Jerry Brown's office. Say, hey, you answer to me why this happens, why you signed this, right? And then Newsom, and then Cox. In your hand, will you sign it, right?
Will you repeal it? Will you get rid of it?
And when you are there, will you repeal it? Yes. Right, repealing. My dear friends, let's take a short moment now. it looks like we got a big job to do. Stay with us, please. Hello, dear friends, lovely audiences. Welcome back to the show, Jack Chow, with the G&E TV on the East-West show. With my friend, Bob Lindsay, former commander for LA County Sheriff Department, to whom I owe a huge appreciation because he may just take it easy, enjoy his retirement and beautiful life there. But he still cares about this issue. He gets, as you can see, as excited as I am, caring about California, the betterment of California. As a matter of fact, we are no longer any Californians, proud Californians. We are being sucked, we are being strangled by the crazy laws. Our law legislators are getting out of the bound. Not only are they making crazy laws, they are making laws so crazy that you, out of every effort of your body whatsoever, brain, could not even find an answer why they did it in the first place, though. So, do you think what we just discussed, to write, to call, to contact these people, would be a way out?
I would hope that your viewers, Jack, would write you, would email you, and that they, along with you, and I would be happy to help you with that, would contact Sacramento, but you need an outpouring because they don't listen to Jack, they don't listen to Bob, they don't listen to Helen, they don't listen to any one person out there, they don't care. The only thing that they care about in Sacramento is when groupings of people get together who might take their job away. That's all they care about. They only care about their job. They don't really care about us.
All right.
So if we move to tell them basically this, look we're going to unelect you. If we can't figure out who wrote this, and they all know it in Sacramento.
Yeah.
They know who did it. Yeah. They're just refusing to tell us because they know that we would go after the individual or people who actually wrote this insane trailer bill.
Of course.
And for the rest of the people down there to say that they don't know who it is or it's just added, you know what, that's disingenuous. That's a lie. That's not the truth.
I received several the same lies from several offices of legislators that I have contacted because, like I said, for 2 weeks I've been pounding for answers. Give me some names, right?
You need to post, Jack, whoever you contacted and their answers because that's going to show. Because if they didn't ask down there who added it, so you can't just out of the blue add things. What did the person on the street corner come in and do it?
Of course,
so they know exactly who added it. And so for that legislator to give you that answer, that means they don't want to give you an answer or they don't want to do their homework. And if they're that lazy, they shouldn't be in Sacramento.
Yeah, exactly. Probably I need to consult an attorney. What are the prerequisites to start up a signature campaign? I'm thinking of this very moment drafting a standard letter soliciting signatures to send it to Jerry Brown, to send it to well, anyway, you're talking about only 2-3 months.
Right.
The time is so, anyway, what to do? I'm really lost.
Well, Jerry Brown isn't going to do anything with this bill. He already did it.
Yeah.
He did what he wanted to do.
He signed it already.
So it's going to be the next governor who's going to be dealing with this. And you know, that's why I say the people need to know what are their positions on this. The new.
Or is it a smarter move to send the same letter to Newsom and to also Cox's office?
Ask for a response.
Will you repeal?
Yeah. What is your position on this bill?
What is the position on this bill?
What is your position on this bill? And will you repeal the portion that deals with criminal mental health.
All right. And also ask him, in the future, if there's all bills of this same nature, will you sign it or not?
Yeah, well, hopefully not. But they're politicians, so we have to be sure that it's very clear what we're asking them. Okay, it's just like the new bill 2943, I think is the number, where they are addressing basically religious rights.
2943, right?
They're taking away religious rights for a lot of the groups in the state of California. In this case, probably Christian, but watch out. If you're Hindu, Muslim, Judaism, it doesn't matter what religion it is. Once they attack one religion from Sacramento, it gives them carte blanche to attack every religion they don't agree with. So there are a lot of bills coming out of Sacramento that are being done in the dark, that are being done nameless.
Yeah, you're right.
That are
you're
being
right,
done because of their personal viewpoints rather than the public viewpoint.
Remember, even only a while ago, it was you and also Tom Yu, I guess. We were talking about checking the voting records. Right. So it looks that even the voting records is no way to be checked.
Well, let me say this. Judicial Watch has filed a lawsuit against the state of California, and my understanding, what I am told, is that at this point there are 700,000 ghost voters. Okay? That means they're dead or illegal or unqualified to vote. And the state of California has not pulled them off. So 700,000 is a lot of votes. That's a lot of votes.
Oh, I see.
That they can manipulate or that they can do something with. So yes, there are a lot of concerns. If anybody out there is an absentee voter, that's me. I vote absentee, I mail it in. Do not vote absentee anymore. Do not vote. You have to go to the polls. Take your absentee ballot with you, go to the polls, surrender your absentee ballot to them at the polls, and they'll let you vote right there in person.
Vote in person.
Vote in person, because what can happen is that when you mail in your vote, it comes in an envelope. They separate the ballot from the envelope, put the envelope over here, and you will never know if it was your ballot or not. Because if you called in, Jack, and said, I want to see my ballot, my voting ballot, they would tell you, we don't know which one it is.
There's no way to find out.
We have no idea. We can say that we got your ballot, but if anybody is switching the ballots, if anybody is manipulating the ballots, it's easy to do.
Easy to do.
So go in, please, go in and vote in person. You do not want to vote by mail. And by the way, guess what California wants you to do? They want you to vote by mail.
Yeah.
They don't want you to go to the polls. In fact, one of the next things they're going to do is they're probably going to require you to vote by mail, because that way the whole election can be
manipulated, can be going exactly the way where they want it.
If America,
and they can do it in the dark.
If America was smart, they go back to paper and pencil so that you don't have the manipulation. There was just an article that, and I just saw the video of them going to a California voting machine, and in less than 2 minutes, this lady was in that voting machine, hacked into the administration portion, and she could manipulate the vote.
Oh God, terrible. All right. I wouldn't have believed it if I heard it before the 1810 time. Now that with the 1810, I know how ill-minded those legislators are, right? Including those officers that I contacted, pounding for a name, who wrote me a letter saying that, very beautiful official letter, saying very nicely, that was a trailer bill. No author at all.
An anonymous trailer bill.
Yeah, no authorship at all. All right, so now I believe something can happen, something could happen, something may happen, and something will happen if they continues, if we people keep on remain silent.
Well, think about it, Jack. If you wrote several people there and they all are saying the same thing, and none of them are willing to give you the names of the authors of
Something wrong.
Of the trailer bill, then that's a conspiracy.
Yeah.
Because they've all talked to each other. And they don't want to give the name up. And why don't they want to give the name up? Because they know this is not what the people want. This is a personal issue with the legislature that they're trying to do. If they had put it out to vote, what would the people have said?
Yeah, of course. The people, I mean, we the people, California people, will never have agreed to it had we known about it. The 1810 bill, well, we will never know it. For example, by the way, vote yes on number 6 this coming November, the gas bill, right? We were cheated. Had we learned what that gas tax was, we would not have voted yes. So now the same thing. We were cheated. We did not even know they are still cheating us, and they will cheat us.
Well, it's the same with the criminal. When they said release the criminals, they called it the Safe Neighborhood Act. Okay, vote yes on the Safe Neighborhood Act. Well, the Safe Neighborhood Act was to make it unsafe.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
exactly
it's Sacramento, again, playing games, and they're going to continue to play games with the people until the people take back Sacramento.
My dear friend, we got a big job to do. Like I said, the job getting bigger and bigger and bigger. We know by logic, in the long run, we will take over whatever we believe is not right, whatever we believe is not representing us, but it takes time. You live only one life, one time, and you have only one life to live. That's the whole thing. And yet, if you care about this one only, well, you're wrong, because you have granddaughters, grandsons and daughters, granddaughters, and you have posterity to talk about, right? So anyway, put all the efforts and consideration together. Let's do something. My dear audiences, my dear friends, please write to me. I want to share with you, I want to share with my audience your wisdom, and tell me what to do, recommend, suggest whatsoever. And what to do, write your email to tellmydj@gmail.com. tellmydj@gmail.com. You can call 626-5856-3889, which is the number here. Another number is my cell phone number, which most of the show hosts will never do. I will. I have nothing to hide. 626-376-1796. Call me. Call my office and send to my office and how you think about it. Together, let's make some difference. Stay with us. Hello, dear friends, lovely audiences. Welcome back to the show. Jack Chow on the East West Show with G&E TV. Today, the subject is so heavy, but I'm happy because sharing the subject with me is my good brother, Bob Lindsay, who I respect a lot, not only for the personal relationship, but for the fact that he put up 39 years out of his life for the safety of LA County.
Thank you, Jack.
What a figure. What a figure. And during the 39 years, he did everything he could, and he tried to protect Los Angeles as a county, and yet he's prepared to do anything from there on. Well, let's give him another chance sometime, right? Right now, I tried to slow him down. I said, take it easy, slow down a little bit, go to your hometown, whatever, and take a rest a little bit. So he's kind of half listening, half not listening. So he's back, sharing this headache with me about what we want to do. So I ask my audience for help.
Yes.
Right. I want them to write to me, tellmydj@gmail.com or call 626-856-3889. That's my office number. Or call 626-376-1796. That's my personal cell phone number, which is the number my wife calls, right? So this is how open I am. And to Bob, so how do you recommend what we can still do to form a team? Let's form a team.
Well, you know what, Jack? You got a beautiful, beautiful audience out there. And a lot of times when we are out in public, when we are with our families, you know, you mentioned grandbabies. I've got 5 grandbabies here, right here in the Los Angeles County area. I've got 3 kids in the Los Angeles County area. For me, I could easily leave this state. Trust me. I want to leave this state. I see what's going on. It's collapsing. It's collapsing from Sacramento, and it's taking everything with it. But with that said, California is worth saving. And if anybody watching this program wants to help save it, they need to get a hold of you. You need to call Jack. You need to call him. You need to write him. You need to get a hold of him because he's a warrior. He's not going to sit back. Look, on his own, he got a hold of these legislators. Now, he's not getting answers on his own because they're blocking him. But you know what? They can't block all of us. And when you come together as a team, you form something that is a bond and very strong. And that's what they're afraid of. So if we can bond together, pull in together, then we can begin fighting some of these things. So get a hold of Jack at the numbers he already gave you and say, I want to get involved. And he can begin building a list. I would be happy to meet with Jack and all of you in a forum somewhere where we can sit down and talk about the things
forum.
that we can
You mentioned the forum. Yes. That's another way out.
Yeah, we can sit down. Now, you're not going to get the legislators to come out and to do that because if they come out, they're not going to tell you the truth anyway.
I can get the candidate here. The candidates, let's say Josh Newsom, and also Kevin Newsom and John Cox.
Get them in here.
Yeah,
you need to begin asking them these questions about AB1810, about 1810, about all these other things, and you're going to hear from them. And if they don't answer the question direct, that means
they are not qualified.
They're not qualified. So they need to give you a direct answer, not a song and a dance, a direct answer. This is what I think. And if they don't do that, then I would say, hey, that's not somebody who supports that. Or, you're going to see that. And your audience is very, very smart.
Oh, thank you very much for supporting me on my proposal. And thank you for making your own call. Please be encouraged to write to me, my dear friend.
Yes.
I don't want to be to be a one-man hero. I want to fight with you together.
Right.
Right. Together we make the voice even bigger. We can simply put together one voice why we see this, right? Can you tell us who did it?
That's right. You know what? We need to make our schools better. We need to make our community better. We need to make it safe for all of us. And we also need to have the right bills coming forth, not only for us as people, but for businesses and for everything else that makes us thrive here as a family and as a community.
To lots of audiences, they might not even know what's going on.
Well, I've been in Arizona for a while, so you told me, I didn't realize Jerry Brown had signed this law.
Signed it already.
I thought he would say, this is crazy.
About to sign, right?
I thought he was about ready to. I thought he'd look at it and say, this is crazy. The people wouldn't want this. But instead, because Jerry Brown is leaving, he said, let's just
sign
do this.
In June.
Let's sign it.
In June, all right?
Yeah, let's sign it.
Starting with AB1810, because 2012, the Supreme Court had a ruling that California prison is overcrowded by 13%. So following that order, 13% of prisoners have to be dealt with. And the best way to do is to build prisons, right? and yet unfortunately we did not have the money.
We don't even have to build them, Jack. We have them. They're closed.
We had the bill for the money. The money is not there. I found out during my research yesterday, the money was spent elsewhere.
The money for what?
For 11 prisons.
Right, but what I am saying is we have closed jails. They're already built. We're not using them.
All right, that's
Instead,
even worse.
We're just releasing people.
That's even worse.
Back into the community so that they can do something to our families.
So best way they found out with AB1810, which is a law, allowed them to do so. They make laws that will allow them to do so. That's it. How about that?
Look,
right?
We need rehabilitation. We need programs. We need to give people second chances. But there are some people who are not ready to get out of jail. Those that are not ready need to stay there.
But they are out.
Well, I understand.
The fact is they are out.
That's
right?
the issue.
We have all of a sudden more than 20,000 criminals, including felons, on the street. Now, the community safety is at stake. Now, and lots of them recommitted the crime, get back to jail. Now, in order to prevent them getting arrested again, you know what they did? They made another law, that is Proposition 47, to raise the threshold of the definition of stealing. For example, $450 to $950, so that in between $450 to $950, you don't have to come back to jail. All right. Okay, now, once again, where did the legislators stand as a position? They just to glorify criminals.
They didn't stand with the hardworking people. They stood with the people stealing. Yeah. That's who they stood with.
All right. And then, well, lots of people committed crime when they started stealing. They can take a calculator with a cell phone. They look at the price sticker and put them together. Okay, 937. That's it. Okay, let's go. All right. So when they caught, they're caught. It's only misdemeanor, no crime at all. All right, good.
Which in California you don't do any time for.
All right, no.
So they give you a free ride anyway.
All right, okay, now we thought that was the end of it. Say, thank God, let it be the end, right? And now that was not the end. There came Proposition 57. 57 went even further. They made the flash incarceration, remember that?
Right.
When they arrest you, even when they arrest you, they say, we have no room for this guy. You let him go in the afternoon.
Right. We had that discussion. If you get sentenced to a year, you do 10 days.
Yeah. All right, you get arrested in the afternoon, you get released tomorrow. Well, there's a 10%. Or so 60 days, you get a 66 days or something like that. Early release. And according to the 57, if you are raping an subconscious woman, it's not rape at all. I don't know. If it's not raping, it is what?
Well, they've dehumanized the female is what they did in that.
It is entertainment?
I guess. It's sick is what it is. It's abhorrent that they would pass something like that.
I say when the state legislature can pass that kind of thing as law, when a governor can put his black ink on that with his signature, go, I believe all of them are sick. Deadly sick, deadly sick. They are strangling their strangle even tighter onto Californians. We thought, thank God, let that be the end, right? And yet, that is not the end. Now we're seeing AB 1810. God, I want to cry, help me. What's wrong? I'm in that kind of I'm mental anyway. Okay, don't accuse me for anything. I'm under my mental attack, right? And some demon attacking me, I'm crazy, that's not me whatsoever, something like that. My doctor will prove it.
That's right. But you know what, Jack? You live in reality. They don't there. And thank God you're fighting for the people in California and especially Los Angeles County.
Let's fight. You're in?
I'm in.
You're in?
I'm in.
All right, good. My dear audiences, I'm going to invite you to come join me, all right? I want you to write to me, tell my DJ at gmail.com, or call this number, or call my cell number. And also, my friend Bob Lindsay is endorsing me. And I believe together we can make a louder voice. We can make things right. And this time, let's say, let 1810 be the end, right? Or otherwise, you will see still another.
Well, Jack, I say let's let 1810 be the end, get rid of that, and start working back and getting rid of all the other stuff.
Everything.
That they messed up.
My God, I lost my voice. Thank you, my dear friend. I thank you for watching. We love you so much. And to my brother Bob, thank you.
Thank you, Jack.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.